You're watching BBN Tonight, presented by UK Federal Credit Union.
Welcome back to BBN Tonight.
And look who we have here joining us now. It is Justin Rowland, the publisher of CatsIllustrated.com, covers recruiting for rivals. Justin, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and Justin, it's been a huge week for Kentucky football, recruiting with their summer camps going on this past week. You've been covering it for a long time. How does the talent level compare this year to what you've seen in past years?
Well, over time, it's risen just like every other part of the program. When you think about the facilities that were here before Mark Stoops took the job, when you think about the hype, the perception of the program, the recruiting has improved at a comparable level. You got bus tours of guys coming from all over the country, from Florida, from Ohio, from Michigan, from Tennessee, and we know that it's not just hype. We're seeing these guys commit to Kentucky, and they're getting some top guys that are well known across the country.
So you know the current roster, you know the incoming recruiting classes.
Yep.
From a position standpoint, what do you see Kentucky prioritizing on the recruiting trail in this upcoming class?
I think offensive tackle has been really important. You saw last year 5-star Keonta Goodwin. They got him. They got legacy Nicholas Hall. They brought in Grant Bingham from the eastern part of the state. But I think they would have taken a couple more offensive tackles if they could have. This is a year of transition for the Big Blue Wall. You've got the third offensive line coach in the last 3 years, Drake Jackson, coming back in. So there is the continuity piece, but they're breaking in 2 new offensive tackles. They're breaking in a new center with Luke Fortner going early in last year's NFL draft. And so I just think they're trying to bring in as many good big bodies as they can. They got a couple of guys, and I think they'll bring in a couple more.
These summer camps, they're really the first time since spring practice that we've gotten a chance to see the coaches interact with players, with recruits. What are some of the things that you've noticed from this staff?
It's an interesting new dynamic because about half of the staff is made over. Liam Cohen has been swapped out for Rich Scangarello, and they have the NFL background in common, but they couldn't be any different personality-wise. I think Cohen, you'd see him running and jumping and high-fiving guys, and you're not going to see Rich Scangarello doing that. He's a teacher, and that is something that guys respond to as well. He's a quieter, softer-spoken person. Zach Yenser's a lot like John Schlarman. Really reminds me of him, and he's a perfect fit in that offensive line room. So it takes a little while to get used to the new personalities, but Mark Stoops has become so comfortable in running this program. You kind of are more confident now in the guys that he's bringing in, so it doesn't upset the dynamic in the coaches' room.
Right, so those are the new coaches that you're seeing there. It seems like several of the current players have been out there as well, hanging out with the recruits, helping with the drills. Yeah. Any of them standing out to you? You think any of them might be coaches one day down the line?
DeAndre Square might be a coach.
Really?
He's got that kind of high football IQ. I think he's going to try it out of the NFL and see how far that goes. But, it's cool to see guys like C.J. Conrad and Drake Jackson and Manny Harper, guys who barely even left the program. They've just been around for that long. And it's a springboard to their career. Maybe they're going to be somewhere else before they're an assistant coach at Kentucky. But somebody like DeAndre Square, who's already like a coach on the field, I could see somebody like that getting into it.
I feel like Coach Stoops probably has that list ready in case somebody takes off. And he has to include some of those guys, right? Like
the coaching fraternity is a very small world. It really is. And who you know and loyalty and being able to vouch for people that played for you is a huge thing. So, he's done a great – if you look at where previous Kentucky assistants have gone and the success that they're having now, it's remarkable. It's a great place for people to go because they're having success beyond Kentucky.
Yeah, absolutely. Justin Rowland, make sure you check out his work on CatsIllustrated.com. Thank you again so much for being here.
Thanks a lot.
I'm sure we'll talk again leading up to football season.
Thank you.
Sounds good. All right, we'll have more BBN Tonight right after this.